Do you guys need more time before I call her in? No, good. Okay.
All right, but the judge is on her way. I'm saying no hash, no this, no meeting. Want to say all right or don't say no. All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. This is the time set for the 5 a.m. initial appearance calendar on November 18th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium. I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of this room. I will let you know what you are here for, if I've appointed an attorney, if you have a bond, and what your release conditions are. I'm also going to read the victim's rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have the rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. If we could have Marcus Conway to the podium and Angel Mora to the chair.
All right, who's Marcus?
He's in the red shirt. His face is tucked in.
Is that more in the seat?
Yeah.
More in the seat. Christian Young? Yeah.
Can I get your name and date of birth?
Marquise Conway, 9/17/79.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Stetson, can I get your appearance for the record?
Your Honor, Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. We are here today on a new case. It is for one count of misconduct involving a simulated explosive device. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference November 24th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. Next, we are going to discuss your release conditions. Ms. Stetson, did you have a recommendation you wanted to put on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting bond be set in the amount of $100,000 secured with standard conditions, Your Honor, which would include no contact with no direct or indirect contact with the alleged victims, witnesses, or law enforcement involved with it, as well as not returning to the incident location. Your Honor, the state is requesting the $100,000 secured bond due to the allegations in this case. Your Honor, the allegations are that the suspect was allegedly being evicted from his residence due to no lease as well as non-payment. it looks like the victim went to the location when he parked his vehicle. He was made aware of a device which the suspect led many individuals to believe that it was a bomb, Your Honor. The suspect also made a comment that he said something like to the effect that this is a gift for you and Monica, who is the property manager or something to that effect of the residence where the suspect was being evicted from. The Phoenix Bomb Squad had to be called out to this incident, Your Honor. There was a lot of undertaking due to the suspect's actions, Your Honor. There was a lot of fear put into the minds of individuals, as well as the fact that everyone involved believed that this was an actual explosive device, Your Honor. The bomb squad did come out. They did x-rays, the state believes, and ultimately the device was detonated. It wasn't until they took x-rays and or detonated the device that they realized that it was in fact not a real explosive device, Your Honor. This did again cause fear and concern in towards the victims, but also towards individuals in the area, Your Honor. So the state believes that based on the allegations, the suspect that $100,000 secured is appropriate. It doesn't appear that the suspect has a whole lot of criminal history. However, Your Honor, the state does believe, based on the allegations, that that would be an appropriate bond amount. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. And Mr. Conway, I did see that you put your hand up. I will give you an opportunity to speak. Before you do that, I want to caution you about talking about the facts of this case. This is being recorded. You do not have an attorney here today, and the state is here listening. So is there anything you wanted to say as it relates to the release conditions before I give my orders?
I'm the one who called 911. I'm the one who called 911.
Right, I did see that.
So I'm not understanding.
Okay. So I do note in the allegations that the allegations do include that you planted this device that appeared to be a bomb and then called 911, and as a result of that, the bomb squad did come out. Based on those allegations,
I'm the one who told them the dude said it was a bomb, and that they might want to bring the bomb squad or something, because you know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to get hurt. I was just going to throw it away. He's the one who said that it was a bomb. Right,
and I understand what you're saying. The allegations further go on to indicate that there was independent witnesses who indicated that that particular device was located in your apartment complex prior to this incident. And so based on that information, I am going to set a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. In the event you were to post that bond and release from custody,
where am I going to get that at?
Hold on, sir, please quit interrupting. You would have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. If you're unable to post that bond, you will remain in custody and they will transport you to your hearing.
Where am I going to get that at?
I don't have the answer to that, sir. You can contact family, friends, or bail bonding companies, but if you're unable to post bonds, then you will remain in custody. Please step to your left and the officer will get you that paperwork. Thank you for appearing here, Ms. Stetson. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Angel Mora to the podium and Christian Tian to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Angel Mora, 11/20/1999.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of aggravated assault, a class 4 felony, Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference November 24th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $40,000. In the event you post bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. You will also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons. If you reside with the alleged victim, you will have to find an alternative residence. You may contact law enforcement for one civil standby to collect any personal belongings you may need to get. And I also caution you that because this is a no victim, or this is a no contact order for the alleged victim, if you violate that, you could face an additional felony charge. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
As far as the releasing thing, just if you could like simplify for me, like is that like basically the ankle monitor thing? Or?
You would have to post $40,000, and then if you posted that, they would equip you with an ankle monitor before they released you.
Okay.
Anything further?
So if I don't have the bond, would I be in custody or?
You'll remain in custody if you don't post bond, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, just up to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Christian Tion to the podium, Caesar McDowell to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Hi there, Christian GTI.
And your date of birth?
12/1995.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on two cases. You're here on a new case as well as your probation case. Your new charge is for one count of unlawful imprisonment, a Class 6 felony, and one count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found. You're also here on your probation case because when you're on probation and you're picked up for a new offense, it is a Term 1 violation of your probation. So I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in both cases.
That sounds great.
You're going to have a status conference and a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30.
Okay.
And a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. On your new charges, you do have a bond of $25,000, and on your probation case, it's a bond of $500. So it's a total secured appearance bond of $25,500. In the event you do post that bond and are released from custody, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you will be equipped with electronic monitoring.
Cool.
You will also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess alcohol or weapons, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. If you reside with the alleged victim, you will have to find an alternative residence. You may contact law enforcement for one civil standby to collect any personal belongings you may need to get. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Other than that, I'm just going to be incarcerated.
If you do not post the bond, you will remain in custody, and they will transport you to your hearings.
Cool.
Anything further?
Nope.
Okay,
Great
just
Watkins.
take a
Happy
step to your left.
Thanksgiving.
The
Thank
officer
you.
will get you that paperwork.
Wait, isn't Party Rocky?
Caesar McDowell to the podium and Christopher Greaves to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Caesar Corona McDowell, 3/1992.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a direct complaint that was filed. It's for an offense date of April 23rd, 2025. It is for 2 counts of aggravated DUI, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, both Class 4 felonies, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, and you're going to have a status conference November 24th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. If you post bond and are released from custody, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and will have alcohol, drug testing, and monitoring. It does indicate you've been in custody since November 13th. Are you currently being held on another bond at this time?
Yes, the DUI that I'm being charged for this time, is it for one in Mesa, or what is it stemming from? Because I haven't received any paperwork. I've been moving, and I haven't even gotten any paperwork for it. I mean, I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to be good. I'm a good father. My kids, my wife. I'm trying to do good here.
So unfortunately, I don't have, oh, it does look like it might be the city of Mesa. It looks like the police The report comes from the Mesa Police Department.
I haven't been in Mesa since last year. Like,
So they've already filed the charges, so if you believe these may be inaccurate or you have a defense to that, talk to your attorney. But the charges have been filed already. It has an offense date of April 23rd, 2025. You'll meet with your attorney on November 24th. But as I mentioned, it looks like you've been in custody for about 5 days. Are you currently serving time, or do you have bonds on a different case?
I have another bond. It's for $3,500. Any way I can get that kind of like.
So we're not here to discuss the bond on your other case, but if you do have a bond of $3,500 on another case, the bond I just mentioned to you in the amount of $5,000 would be in addition to any other bonds you had. You would need to post all of those bonds in order to be released from custody.
Okay, and is that including like the hold that I have in Mesa or Scottsdale, or do I still have to go through those?
If you have holds from other cities, then you will still have to see those judges and find out what bonds you have there as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Next!
When's my next court date?
On this case, your next court date is going to be November 24th.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
This guy's like a freaking
Christopher Greaves
one-man
to the podium.
crime spree. He has warrants all over the place. But hey, don't forget, you know, he's a good dad.
Ms. Haynes to the chair.
He takes care of his family and his kids.
May I get your name and date of birth?
Yeah. Excuse me. Christopher Reeves, 11/13/1987.
Thank you. You are here on 2 cases. You're here on a new case as well as your probation case. Your new case is for 1 count of assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct, both class 1 misdemeanors. Probable cause has been found. Because you're on probation at the time you were picked up for a new offense, it is a term 1 violation of your probation. So I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you on both cases. On your new charges, you're going to have an arraignment hearing in the Santan Justice Court, November 21st at 8:30. On your probation case, you have a probation revocation hearing, November 24th at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Courthouse. On your new charges, you have a bond of $1,500. On your probation case, it's $500. That is a total bond in the amount of $2,000. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, understood.
Please step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Ms. Haynes to the podium, Mr. Thompson to the chair.
You know what I'm saying, Maui? Hey, well,
Can I get your name and date of birth?
I just got home, but I'll catch you guys later.
Thank you. You are here on a warrant from Pinal County Superior Court with allegations that you violated your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a hearing in Pinal County on November 21st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500 in that case. It does look like you were already in custody. Are you serving time, or do you have a bond on another case?
I'm being sentenced the 20th. I'm supposed to be sentenced the 20th.
November, so in a couple days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you know that you have that sentencing, you may want to wait and hold off on posting bond because you wouldn't be released anyways. They will transport you to Pinal for your hearing, though, okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, so you'll take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Thompson to the podium, Mr. Gillette to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Justin Thompson, 4/11/89.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 failure to appear bench warrants that were issued for you. They both relate to pending drug charges. I am going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference November 24th at 8:30. You have a cash bond of $1,000 in one case, $500 in the other, for a total bond of $1,500. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons, and you may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? Okay, please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Gillette to the podium and Mr. Ortiz to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Larry Gillette, 7/9/77.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 6 cases. The first one is a new case. It's a direct complaint that was filed with an offense date of October 30th, 2025. Your other 5 cases are your probation matters.
Yeah.
The new charges with the offense date of October 30th is for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. And because you were on probation at the time of that offense, it's a term 1 violation in each of your probation cases. I'm going to appoint an attorney in all 6 cases. You're going to have a probation revocation hearing along with a status conference November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250 in each case for a total bond of $1,500. I do note that you're here on some additional cases. If you have any bonds in those cases, this would be in addition to that. You would have to post bond on all cases in order to be released from custody, and you would have written conditions of release. It would include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions? No. Okay, if you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Thank you, sir. Mr. Ortiz to the podium. Joseph Strumpfa to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Abel Ortiz, 5/15/89.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a direct complaint that was filed. It has an offense date of April 20th, 2023 for 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a status conference November 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $550. I do note that you were previously seen by this court a couple of weeks ago and you were given a bond of $500. This would be in addition to that. If you were to post bond and release from custody, you would have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. On your previous case where you were given a bond of $500, were you released on that, given time? What happened on that? Do you know?
The one that I got picked up for 2 weeks ago, I didn't get a bond for it. I got OR'd. But the one that I'm here for now was from 2023. That's the...
So you've been in custody since November 4th, though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's because you were given a bond on your probation case. You had a $500 bond on that case.
Yeah, I had a warrant for my arrest for a previous one. And then they, Tempe picked me up, but they OR'd me from Tempe.
Okay.
And they gave me a court date for yesterday, but I was in custody.
Okay. And it looks like on your probation case, you have another hearing coming up November 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and they affirmed the previous release order. So you do have the bond of $500 on your probation case, and you have a $550 on this case. In the event you did post bond and were released from custody, you do have written conditions of release. It would include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma'am. The 24th and the 26th, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, that was figured out. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph Strumpfa to the podium and Mohammed to the chair, or Joseph to the podium, Mohammed to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Joseph Strumpa, 11/10/1980.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, and 5. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing November 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? Thank you, sir. Please step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Mohammed to the podium. Dion to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Mohammed Farrakhan, 11/18/87.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a direct complaint that was filed. It does have an offense date of July 13th, 2025 for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. I do note you've currently been in custody since November 16th. Are you currently serving time or being held on a bond for a different case?
Just serving time.
What's your release date?
I'm not sure. I think they said just a week.
Okay. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to appoint an attorney. I'm going to give you some hearing dates. You're going to have a status conference November 24th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. You're going to have a $50 bond on this case. So if you get released on your other case and you're not being held on anything else, then you can post the $50 bond. You'll be released from custody. You'd have to get yourself to these hearings. But if you're still in custody and serving time on that case, they'll transport you to those hearings. Okay? Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, please step to your left. Dion to the podium and Clinton to the chair. Can you get your name and date of birth?
Gio Dashi, 61181.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference December 3rd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. I'm releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. You do have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're going to get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services upon your release. All of this will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Clinton to the podium and Daniel to the chair.
Quentin Fennell,
And your date of birth?
11/17/69.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference December 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 5th at 8:30. I am going to release you today to the supervision of pretrial services. You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription. You may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You're also going to get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services upon your release. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Please step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Daniel to the podium, Eric to the chair.
Good morning.
Good morning. May I please get your name and date of birth?
Daniel Marquez, 040103.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a warrant from the West McDowell Justice Court. It does look like it relates to driving on a suspended license with an offense date of October 10th, 24. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You will have an arraignment hearing December 2nd at 1:30 p.m. in the West McDowell Justice Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing.
Yes, I promise.
You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
To pay that off, could I work for it? Because you know how you can work.
You'll have to talk to the court that is addressing this
Oh, okay.
underlying issue. Talk to West McDowell Justice Court about that,
Yep,
okay?
thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Eric to the podium. Guillermo to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
May 1st, 2002. Eric Niyonzma.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a warrant from the El Centro Justice Court. It is for driving on a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled with an offense date of April 26, 2025. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You're going to have an arraignment hearing December 4th at 9:30 a.m. in the El Centro Justice Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription. You may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, am I paying a bond to get out today?
You don't have to pay a bond. You just have to promise to appear at the hearing on December 4th at 9:30.
Gotcha. Yeah, the last time when I had a court in downtown, and I couldn't find the building, and I had work, I was like, which one is the building, you know? And I think I tried to call the court, and that's where, the miscommunication went, and I kind of left it alone.
Okay, so it will be downtown again, so obviously just double check the directions before you go. Hearings at 9:30 in the morning, okay?
Thank you.
Any further questions?
That should be, yeah. So after this, do I have to do anything else?
They're going to take you to processing. It does take about 4 to 6 hours before you'll be released. Once that's completed, then you'll just need to make sure you get to your hearing, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. Do I have a Spanish interpreter on the line?
Good morning. Yes, this is Kevin, the library Spanish interpreter, ID 1093.
Thank you, sir. We are going to begin. Good morning. I do have a Spanish interpreter on the line. I do ask that you wait for him to translate before responding.
Okay.
May I please get your name and date of
Buenos días.
birth?
Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Kevin, seré su intérprete el día de ahora. Sí. Para comenzar, ¿cuál es su primer nombre y apellido, por favor? Y fecha de nacimiento.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Guillermo Monje Vega y mi día es el 31 de diciembre de 1998.
Guillermo Monje Vega, December 31st, 1998.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on two cases.
Quien está acá por dos casos.
Okay.
Your first case is a new case.
El primer caso es un nuevo caso.
The second case is a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued.
El segundo caso es su caso de garantía, no asunto.
Your new charges are for one count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony.
Sus nuevos cargos son por fallar, ¿verdad? De una banqueta, los frutos en nuestra corte, ¿no? Fue agravada, ¿no? Por un asalto de clase 4. Delito de clase 4.
Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Sea un caso, ¿no? Encontrado, problema encontrado, entonces se le va a dar un abogado para que le represente.
Your second case is for pending drug charges that you have.
El segundo cargo es un cargo por posesión de drogas, ¿sí?
I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you in that case.
Le vamos a tener un abogado para que le represente previamente con respecto a ese caso.
You're going to have a status conference November 24th at 8:30.
Va a tener el juicio el día noviembre 24 a las 8:30.
An evidentiary hearing November 25th at 1:30.
La evidencia de noviembre 25 a la 1:30.
And a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30.
Y hizo una audiencia preliminar el día 27 de noviembre a las 8:30.
On the case you failed to appear for, you have a bond of $500.
En el caso fallido, ese tiene un cargo ¿no? de $500.
On your new case, because you were out on felony release at the time of this offense, you are not eligible for bond.
En el segundo caso, había sido dado de alta, ¿no? Segunda cuenta, no es elegible a un fin.
The hearing on November 25th is the time set to determine if bond will be set on your new charges.
La audiencia que tendrá el 25 de noviembre, como para esta fecha, para verificar de los cargos, de los nuevos cargos.
So even if you were to post bond on the one case, you would not be released because you're non-bondable on your new charges.
Aunque he sido liberado, ¿no? Por esa, elegible, ¿no? A fianza, seré liberado por esa cargo de los nuevos cargos.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Todo esto va a estar ahí en los documentos, papeles. ¿Alguna pregunta?
No.
If you will take a seat in the gallery, we will bring you that paperwork.
Como no siento ahí, te le darán los papeles.
Thank you, sir. That does conclude our Spanish interpreter matter this morning. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
To page 2.
Thank you for calling Lionbridge. Interpreter 1093, this
That's it. You're upset, Connor. You can call next one.
Can I have Daniel Smith to the podium? Can I get your name and date of birth?
Daniel Lee Smith, 6975.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a grand jury warrant that was issued. It has an offense date of February 6, 2025 for one count of failure to register as a sex offender, a class 4 felony. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting an arraignment hearing November 25th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have a cash bond in this case of $5,000. It does look like you were previously seen by this court and were given a $500 bond. Are you still being held in custody on that bond?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be in addition to that bond. If you were to post both bonds and release from custody, you would have written conditions of release. It does include not possessing weapons or alcohol. Did you have any questions?
I'm good, man.
Okay, if you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. This does conclude our 5 a.m. calendar, and we will now stand in recess until 8 a.m.
Please show it to your lawyer. Your lawyer will help you get the very best outcome that you can. I'm just releasing you and telling you to go to court. Okay? And call into pretrial and let them know where you're staying. Even if it's just in an area, you can call and say, I'll be around the intersection of this. I just want you to check in with them, okay?
One question aside, I had 2 birth certificates from the same place I cast at the shelter in Phoenix.
Okay.
They ordered one, the correct one. The second one that I got was different. So I went to the DES when I applied for my EBT, and I told them my birth certificate, and I showed it to them. Then they showed me a photocopy of the one that they have.
Oh.
So I took that one, and then I took it to Vital Records, and I told them, so this place, they paid for both, and they're both different. Okay. Why are they both different? So my father's information is different, and my birth time is different.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you with that. Maybe mention it to your lawyer at your next court date. There's not much I can do about that, but it's okay as long as you come to your court dates. That's the big thing I want you to remember. Don't miss court, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, if you step there, you can hand him the headphones too. Good luck, sir.
Thank you so much. I guess it's been a call or something. Thank you. Okay. You too, sir. All right, so, officer, I have
Sydney or Sidoni Thompson and Anthony Yazzie as house calls. Are they not physically present in court because they've been isolated by the sheriff's office as a potential risk of danger to themselves or others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I do have an affirmative answer from the sheriff's office, so I will go see each of those defendants in-house to conduct their initial appearances immediately. Whoops, what did I just do? Immediately after this recording. I'll advise, oops, oh my gosh, I'm having mouse issues. I'm just, okay.
Your Honor, I apologize. Of these two or the other two that you needed to see, everyone else has...
There should only be Clint Hunter and Chardonnay Hall in the courtroom. I got two people? Okay, great. I'm going to start with Mr. Hunter, please. And I'll finish up the house call record in a second. Where's yours? Good morning, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
It's Clint Alexander Hunter, 021595.
Okay, thanks. You're in a new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, and abducting a child from the custody of the state. That's a Class 4 felony. Also disobeying a court order, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. It'll be the same lawyer that you have for your other pending case, which is CR 2023-006055. You are co-defendant number 2 in that case, and it looks like your next court date was to be your sentencing hearing 2 days from now on the 20th. So that case remains open and pending as of today. I'm going to set 3 court dates for you. The first one is going to be a status conference, November 24th. That is this Monday, 8:30 in the morning. Your preliminary hearing in this new case is, pardon me, scheduled for Wednesday, November 26th at 8:30 in the morning. And in between those, you're going to have a bail hearing. The reason you need a bail hearing is that there is probable cause for new felonies while you have an open and pending felony case. And the law says that under those circumstances, you must be held for a bail hearing. I cannot give you bail today. So you are held without bond, at least until the outcome of that bail hearing or some other order of the court. So the bail hearing is going to be 1 week from today, which is the 25th of November at 1:30 in the afternoon. You may or may not be found eligible for bail in a week, not eligible today. And on your paperwork, it's going to be called evidentiary hearing because it is an evidentiary hearing, but the point of it is bail. While you are in or out of custody, you are not to have any contact with any alleged victims, no contact with any witnesses, and no contact with your co-defendant. I do not know where she is. She may have come through on a different calendar. She may not yet have been arrested. I actually don't know her status. So you can't call her from jail. You can't accept calls from her, if that's even a thing. No contact. All right, everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left, she'll give you a copy.
I had a question about you was saying about it was the first charge.
Aggravated assault?
About the first court hearing, you said it was still pending. I wanted to know.
Right. No, the other case it's open and pending until you get sentenced. And so your sentencing hasn't happened yet. That's why it's open and pending.
Okay, so do I still go to the one that?
You are definitely not going to get sentenced on the 20th with a pending case because that would not be in your best interest. Your lawyer wouldn't let that happen. Like, everybody needs to know the outcome of this. And so I can tell you for sure, nobody's going to sentencing on the 20th. I do think, let me see, it might just be helpful because I'm nice. Looks like it's Judge Dunn. Hey, do you mind dropping a quick email to Judge Dunn's JA? Just tell her this gentleman is in custody so they don't put out a warrant on the 20th. They can put him on a transport list. Like, they may still want to bring him, but the sheriffs are not going to transport him, so they'd need to actually put him on their transport list. Okay, so as a courtesy to both you and Judge Dunn and the lawyers who would show up for nothing, we're going to just shoot a quick email to Judge Dunn's staff to let them know that you're in custody. And because I have no control over Judge Dunn's case, it's not in front of me today, there's nothing I can do about that. But what I do know is the sheriffs are not going to take you on the 20th because you're officially released in that case. So the email should stop them from putting out a warrant on the 20th. And if they want, they can manually put you on a transport list to order the sheriff to take you. I can't do that, so anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
I did a little something to see if I can make that not, because otherwise you catch a warrant, about 3 days later, they'll haul you in here, could be at 2 o'clock in the morning, just to tell you that you got a warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Thank
that's,
you so much.
that's not good for anybody. So, okay, all right, hopefully that works, and good luck. If you'd like to get a copy of that picture. All right, Ms. Hall, you can come in. Hello, ma'am, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Chardonnay Hall, January 9th, 1996.
All right, thank you. You're on a new case. You were arrested for child abuse as a Class 4 felony. There is probable cause for that, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be a status conference November 24th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30 in the same court. Based on what has been alleged against you and the significantly elevated risk to a vulnerable child victim, the court believes that the state's recommendation is appropriate in your case, and that is a $50,000 secured appearance bond. Your release conditions, I actually think I want to put an ankle monitor on you, and I'll tell you why in a second. I am going to. I want to keep track of where you are. The court believes that on these facts, that it's absolutely imperative that you be kept away from that child and all other children. Based on what has been alleged, it appears you told pretrial you have other children. You are forbidden from having any contact with anyone under the age of 18 while the case is pending. What is alleged against you is of extreme seriousness. It is of extreme intentionality, what is alleged against you. That it indicates a lengthy pattern of extreme violence and mistreatment of a vulnerable child. And the court believes that you face a very real possibility of a prison sentence in this case that could cause you to flee or cause you to be more likely to try to intimidate this child or any other children, and that what is alleged against you means it is not safe to allow you to have contact with any child at any time. And what is alleged is significant corroboration. So,
Your Honor,
let me just give you a Fifth Amendment warning real quick. You have the right to remain silent about what you've been accused of. I know that can be hard when I just talked about it. I appointed you a lawyer, but they're not here and they can't speak for you. Things you say today are being audio and video recorded that could be used against you, either now or at any later hearing, including your trial. And it's the court's belief, I'm not setting bail on this basis, but it's the court's belief that you are very likely facing significant additional charges, that this will not be the only charge levied against you. And what is alleged is corroboration of what could only be described as ongoing, very intentional, severe abuse. So the court would caution you to be careful about talking about what you've been accused of, because it could be used to put you in prison after a trial. But if you understand that, do you understand you have the right to remain silent, and you can wait and talk to your lawyer and have your lawyer try to get you something better on release conditions? Do you understand?
I don't understand the release conditions, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor,
all right.
$50,000
$50,000.
I got to come up with the whole $50,000.
It's secured. You can use a bail bond company. I also note you have criminal history in Michigan and Washington, and the court is very concerned about flight risk to avoid a possible prison sentence.
Michigan is where I'm from, and Washington is where I fled a domestic relationship from. So I'm not getting out today, even though I don't have priors.
Not unless you post a bail. It's not, as I just explained, ma'am, it's not to do with priors. It's to do with the three purposes of bail in Arizona. Number one is to prevent flight from prosecution. Number two is to protect the safety of the community, which is what gives the court the power to order you not to have contact with any children, especially your own, and to protect against victim or witness intimidation or retaliation. Again, what is alleged is very serious, and it appears to have not been the beginning of it. And it is of extreme seriousness. I cannot overemphasize that, what is described, and that there is corroboration and physical corroboration alleged, and the court believes you face a very real possibility of a prison sentence, and that you
Even though
are
I've
free
never
to
gotten
avoid
in
it.
trouble before?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Please step to your left and take a copy of your paperwork. All right, going back to the house call records, I did get information from the sheriff's office about 10 minutes ago on this recording, but I'm going to see Anthony Yazzie and Sydney or Sidoni Thompson as house calls. So Anthony Yazzie was born 1/27/96. I will advise him that he got arrested on a new case. The allegations are 4 allegations of child abuse, which the court finds probable cause for under subsection B of the statute, which is a class 4 felony. He was booked in generically under the statute as a class 2. That requires evidence of that the child was exposed to death or risk of serious physical injury. On these facts, the court isn't quite prepared to find that, but I absolutely find probable cause for the class 4 felonies. So the status conference is going to be November 24th at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. I want to double check the state's recommendation. Drug and alcohol. Okay. Yeah, I want to edit this one. I'm sorry. Yeah, this one. So I do want to impose drug and alcohol testing, and I think that while I think the state's recommendation is higher, because what is alleged in this case, unlike the last one, is not deliberate beatings. It is neglect and other types of abuse, including locking small children out of the house when it is cold out and they have no shoes and are wearing pajamas. So on these facts, but this defendant does have a criminal history that includes 5 prior felony convictions. Oh, and this is a gentleman. No, he's got 9 misdemeanors. All right. So in Mr. Yazzie's case, the court is inclined to set bail in the amount of $10,000 secured with pretrial supervision, ankle monitor, drug and alcohol testing, and orders not to live where he was living. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol. He cannot be alone with or have the care or physical custody of anyone under the age of 18, even temporarily, without further orders of the court. And I think he didn't get an interview, so I don't know if he has any other children. But these 4 children were not his, according to the Form 4, that they are his nieces or nephews. All right, Sydney Thompson is here on a new case, and it got split into 2 bookings. So the felony allegation will be number 29. It is aggravated assault on a detention officer, which is a class 5 felony. There is probable cause for it. I am appointing a lawyer for her. Giving her status conference of November 24th at 8:30, and preliminary hearing November 26th at 8:30. Those are in the downtown Superior Court. She did have a maximum risk score on the release recommendations. She got 1 prior felony conviction where she got revoked to prison last summer, and at least 31 prior misdemeanor convictions. So the court is very concerned that she is not going to comply with conditions and she is going to commit new crimes while the case is pending. So for those reasons, the court's inclination is to set bail in the amount of $2,500 secured. With release conditions I'll go over with her. Then she got booked into Peoria City Court on misdemeanors arising from the same arrest. Those allegations are disorderly conduct and criminal damage, both class 1 misdemeanors. I'm going to appoint a lawyer for her in that case for the purposes of bail only at this moment in time, given an arraignment hearing of November 20th, 2 days from now, 9 in the morning in the Peoria City Court. And the court has the same concerns about this case. And so the court is inclined to order bail in the amount of $1,000 secured in the misdemeanor case. So that would be $3,500 total, with conditions not to go to the scenes of the crimes, no contact, or scene of the crimes, no contact with the alleged victims or witnesses. If anything changes after I conduct these initial appearances in-house, my final order will reflect the court's ultimate decision in these cases. It's not the court's intention to update the written order unless there's a reason. The recording, unless there's a reason to. My final decision will be in writing. All right, with that, we're going to stand in recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.